Monday Night Wars podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Monday Night Wars. It is December 15th, 1997, and we are live with WCW Nitro at the Independence Arena in Charlotte, North Carolina. We are in Flair country, ladies and gentlemen. Flair country. Will we see Flair? I don't remember. But we'll find out. We'll find out as I get further into my notes. We got Tony. We got Larry Zbyszko. We got Mike tonight. And we got Joseph Rojas. Joseph, how are you, man?
I'm good. We also have Scott Kaufman right there.
I'm on the other side, bro.
No, on my side, you're on this side. My side's the one that it's going to do the thing on. You're on that side. Trust me. I've edited many of these. Yep, there you are. Found it.
I have real trouble pointing to things on this because the camera's inverse, so it just confuses the crap out of me.
See,
I'm not smart enough for
I
this.
pick something and then I go, okay, that's my direction, right? Like
That's beautiful.
I picked
man.
the mach that's right above my head, and so I okay, that's over my left shoulder. That's where Scott is.
Bro, I just picked the guitar.
There you go. Except for you're pointing away from me because on the actual podcast, you're going to be on the right side. I'm going to be on the left side.
Bret Hart, bro.
There you go. Owen Hart, you mean?
That brings us to Owen Hart or Bret Hart or no. The NWO comes out.
Yes,
we do get to Bret Hart, but not yet. Tell me about the NWO.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because they do mention pretty much early on that like Bret Hart will be on this episode. They make sure to let everybody know that Bret Hart will be making his debut today. I wonder when. We'll find out. NWO come out, and of all people, they have Masahiro Chono cut a promo that no one can understand because it's in Japanese. Not an insult to Chono, but no one speaks Japanese, so he says whatever he says. Bischoff shouts out Kevin Nash, who is getting ready for the Giant at Starrcade, except he's not, because Kevin Nash will leave and not be part of Starrcade. He won't leave the company, but he's absolutely not going to be part of Starrcade. Anyways, Hennig says he will retire Ric Flair at Starrcade, and the Charlotte crowd boos him, except he's not going to face Ric Flair at Starrcade, but we'll get there. Then Hogan calls Sting a coward and says he won't come out right now and face Hollywood, and then that's just kind of it. So I gave us a C. It is what it is.
It's great. In some ways, I like the Chono bit because it's the NWO cares so little what the fans think, right? That's the joke, right? Like they're just going to do a promo that you can't understand because we don't care what you think.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that, but I'm also just tired of the NWO.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Don't worry, Scott.
After that,
my storyline, 16-month storyline, should finally come to a great conclusion in 2 weeks' time at the pay-per-view, which if you want to listen to, it's $2 a month on our Patreon.
Absolutely. What a sell. What a sell. Yeah. And we get the stunning final conclusion to the Sting NWO storyline. It all comes together. It's beautiful. Watch, listen, Starrcade. It's the beginning of the end for WCW. I mean, it is. Everyone says it.
I actually disagree. I think next week is the beginning of the end, but we will get there as well. You have to tune in. That's not on our Patreon. That's on our standard show.
Yeah, that one's going to get you hyped. That one's going to get you hyped to give us $2 to hear how bad Starrcade is. Anyways, after that, we get some comments. They replay comments about Bret Hart from Ric Flair last week. I'm going to keep rolling unless you got anything to say because we've already talked about this.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, because we can't get enough of the NWO, we get Vincent in a match. Why? We get Vincent versus Ray Traylor, and it's, what are we doing with this? Minute 51. Tell
Yeah.
me, Joseph.
My first note was this should be a squash for Ray Traylor, right? But I was like, well, what we've seen lately is that he doesn't get those and he ends up getting his ass
Yes.
beat. But it is. It is a squash for Ray Traylor. Vincent just folds and Ray Traylor just destroys him. Okay. I mean, I'm inherently not opposed to the idea, but like what we've seen with Ray Traylor is him get the crap beat out of him week after week after week. So, all right, I gave it a C.
We need Ray to be the elite hunter. I want a damn elite hunter. We've talked about it. I want it. Well, again, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there. Come on.
How
You failed
crazy
to
is
mention. Oh,
hold on, how crazy is it that all 3 major companies have tried this storyline? WCW with Ray Traylor,
mhm,
WWF at the time with Owen Hart,
mhm.
and then obviously AEW with Frankie Kazarian, and all 3 have
Yep.
fumbled it exactly the same way of just, we're just gonna stop doing that." It's
Yeah,
like, "What? No, it's
it's right
interesting."
there. It's right there, and it's good. Let it happen. What you failed to mention, though, and I know you purely just missed this out of excitement
Mhm.
over the Nitro girls coming up next, but your favorites, the Flock, have arrived. They came down to ringside during this match. Oh, boy. I know you love them. And then speaking of Nitro girls, we've got the Nitro Girls! And naturally, the Nitro Girls arrive to hype us up for a Disco Inferno match.
Yes, absolutely.
Disco Inferno versus Yuji Nagata for the WCW World Television Championship. And this one goes for about 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Tell me.
Yeah, somehow Disco wins this match with the chart buster, which is again just the stunner that he stole. And then Shivani, Tony Schiavone makes sure to tell everyone that this is a great move.
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, we know
Yes.
there's a better one on Raw. We watch it every
Yes.
week. It's way better. I gave this a C. It's not exactly a bad match. I just don't understand why Disco's getting pushed so much.
I don't like the chart buster,
I don't
Joseph.
either. I don't either.
It just and it's not even that it's a ripoff of the stunner, which it is. It's just I just don't feel like that's the move for Disco Inferno. It's just
It's
not the
not.
move I
It's
do for him.
the biggest problem is it's not smooth. It looks
Yeah,
like he has to really get it, every single time. I
because to me, the chart buster should be like a lifting move because he's, like, going up on the charts and then down kind of thing. I don't know, something like that, like a brain buster or something. Then you're still in the jackhammer. I don't know, but something that I feel like the chart buster's gotta be a lifting move because you're going up on the charts and you're coming down. I don't know, but that's just me.
I would make it a diving move.
Oh!
Diving move, whether it's a leg
Mhm,
drop, an elbow drop, splash, something very simple. 'Cause I'm not look, I Disco should not be doing flippy shit, but I think it makes a lot of sense for the character. He's, he the term of Disco makes you kind of think limber anyways, because Disco, that's what he's
mhm,
known for.
mhm.
So, like, yeah, just go up to the top rope, hit like a diving leg drop or something, call it the chart
Do this
buster.
real fast. Go,
Yeah,
go.
he can just real
Let everyone
quickly.
let everyone know it's coming.
Then if he ever goes away from being the Disco character, all he has to do is just drop the taunt, and he can still do his finisher.
Mhm. Yeah, and for those listening, because you mentioned that some people still only listen to us, even though we are live worldwide on video. The thing I was referring to doing this is the disco, the finger up and down, the
Yeah,
that he does.
the
Do
John
that top
Travolta
rope, let
thing, yeah.
people know. Yeah, let people know it's coming, give them the chart buster, yeah, and then as you said, to make it no longer the chart buster, you just gotta drop the finger up and down, you know? And then it's just whatever. It's I don't know. I don't remember his name. I was gonna say his real name, and then I forgot his name because I don't know ball like Timothy Chalamet, uh, where I'm just dropping I don't I guess I gotta explain that now. Timothy Chalamet is doing a press tour for his new movie, Marty Supreme, I think it's called, and which is an A24 movie, so I will love it because I love douchey A24 movies. Uh, and he went on Cody Rhodes' show,
Yeah.
and Timothy Chalamet was a fan of, I guess it's the Ruthless Aggression era is kind
Yes.
of when
Yeah.
he was
He
around.
would have
Yeah.
been a kid
But
when that was going on. Yeah.
yeah, but he was talking about he used Boogeyman's real name, his shoot name, and
Yeah.
he was talking about he was like, "Oh, when, uh, when Goldberg and Brock went at it in the Garden for WrestleMania 20. Oh, and when Goldberg and Hogan went at it at the Georgia Dome." And I'm like, "This kid knows ball. All right. All right. I like it. I like it." I also like, for a hell of a segue, Dean Malenko and Fit Finland for 6 minutes because come on, those guys are gonna put on a good match.
Yeah, no, it's true. And in this match, Eddie Guerrero joins on commentary, which he's been doing for the last few
Mhm.
weeks. Zbyszko calls out his body, which is strange given Zbyszko's body by comparison. It's just a weird one. Like, I'm not saying Zbyszko's like in a bad shape, but like he's also older,
No.
so his body's not, as
Mhm.
tight and firm. And Eddie's got like a shredded body right now, and it's
Yes.
just like, okay, all right. Eddie trashes all over Dean and says the only respect he has for Dean is that he can maintain a straight face when someone is telling a joke, which I laughed at. Thought that was great. Eddie leaves commentary and stalks ringside. Dean attacks Eddie, and Finley capitalizes with a tombstone piledriver for the win. I feel the exact same way about Finley doing this as I feel about Mongo doing it. You shouldn't be doing it. I mean, technically it's a different company. I get that, but you're not Taker. Don't be doing that. Anyways, it is a very fun match. It gets a B for me, and Eddie is very entertaining on commentary.
But it's not the Tombstone pile driver. It's the Irish Buster or something. I don't know. The
The
Belfast
shillelagh
Bomb.
driver, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. After that, though, because we're just I don't even do we have any commentary? Do we talk to anybody tonight? Oh, yeah, we do eventually, but not yet. It's just because we roll into our next match, and it's got Rey Mysterio Jr., it's got La Parka, it's got Psychosis, and excuse me while I walk around the corner and all the folks watching at home get to see my Superman pajama bottoms. It's got Juventud.
Assuming that picked up on mic and you're only listening to this, he's also completely naked, just flowing in the wind.
Yeah, well, Superman bottoms is what I call my wiener. Uh, but anyways, this is about 6 minutes, 30 seconds. Tell me about it, Joseph.
It's a really fun high-flying match and, easily one of the matches of the night for WCW. It is a tag match, by the way, La Parka and Psychosis on one side, Ray and Hoovy on the other side. Hoovy ends up winning this with a 450 splash, and Zbyszko says he wants to see a 925. Don't know what that is, but he wants to see it. Gave it a B+. It's a really fun match. It's what you expect from the cruiserweights. I think next week we got a 6-man tag, so they're just kinda throwing them out there and seeing what happens.
I'm gonna invent the 925. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out.
Uh-huh.
Yep, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna start my wrestling career at 38, and my move is gonna be the 925. My
It
wrestling
should
career
be
is gonna
it should be no flips. It
yeah.
should be 0 flips in the move.
No, yeah, you sell that would be funny, right? You sell it as, "Oh my god, the 925," and it's
Just a dropping
just like a
splash.
belly flop kinda
Yeah.
thing, like just a yeah, just kinda go boop. Kinda like Vader, because Vader kinda just goes and down, you know? Uh, that would be good. I like it. We roll into hour number 2, and commentary shifts around. We got Tony, we got Bobby. We love Bobby. And
Mhm.
we still got Mike Tenay. I love it. By the way, is my Juventud coming through now that I'm going around the corner? Is that
Uh,
happening?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten any angry,
Mercs hasn't
yeah,
messaged us, so,
yeah, I haven't
yeah.
gotten any angry messages from him, threatening my much needed $2 a month. So, it's feeding my family, everybody. But we do finally get some commentary. It looks like you were waiting to say something. Should I stop and let you say
No, you're
something?
good, you're good.
Okay. We finally get some storyline. we finally get some commentary. We got Mean Gene in the ring with the Charlotte police chief. And this is something. This is big. And who do we get? Who do we get, Joseph? I get a little emotional. We get Arn. And I get a little emotional. Tell me about it, Joseph.
We go from a chart buster to a brain buster in Arn Anderson. Anyways, yeah, so he comes out. Obviously, I don't think he's actually from Charlotte, but I think he lives there now. I think he originally is from somewhere else. But anyways, Zbyszko says Arn. This is gross, everybody. This is what Zbyszko says. He says Arn is from when men were men and women kept their mouths shut. Ew. Why?
That's a
Why was
Zbyszko line. But yeah.
why? Arn calls WCW his home, then introduces the Nature Boy. Flair says, "Tonight we honor Charlotte PD." He then donates from WCW 15 grand to the Charlotte PD. Their chief thanks Flair and accepts check on behalf of the officers who have lost their lives on the line of duty. I think he said it's like 22 officers in the last like 10, 15 years, something like that. It's not a maybe it's not 10, 15 years. It's really not a large amount, but it's like, oh, okay, they made a memorial for them is what they did. So this is what the check is being donated to. After they leave, Flair goes in on Hennig, saying he wants to face him tonight, and he says he can beat up the whole NWO, and that will age poorly. Anyways, this gets a C for me. Back to you, Scott.
Oh. 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 Yeah. I liked it though, because Arn's there, and I like it. Arn is from Rome, Georgia, by the way. I Google machined that while you were talking, and yeah, it was a nice segment. It fits because it's Charlotte. It's a Flair. It's a horseman thing. It's a Flair thing. I thought it was fine. I think it's nice that they built a memorial for the fallen officers.
Yeah,
That was all good.
I'm not gonna shit on a we're gonna donate some money to a good cause segment at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just red meat for Charlotte fans who love Flair and the Horsemen and Arn and all that, right? But after that, we come back from our commercial break, and we've got Mean Gene again, this time speaking to JJ Dillon, and it's about the Bischoff-Zbyszko match at Starrcade. And this I don't care for. Tell me about it, Joseph.
Same. Bischoff immediately interrupts, telling the crowd to fight him. He says he will only agree if punches count, kicks count, and knockouts count. And Dillon agrees to these terms, but he adds his own stipulation to the match. So Bischoff wants, to be clear, punches to count, kicks to count, and knockouts to count. And he's like, I'm only going to be in this match if that happens. And Dillon is like, yeah, okay. But here's the kicker. I want submissions to count. And Bischoff, he agrees to this. So what they did was they literally defined a fucking wrestling match and then said, that's what it is. Cool.
Yes.
That's exactly how a wrestling match works. Gets an F for me. It was bad. Also, this is really important to note. We have not talked about this being for anything. And that's important to note when we get to Starrcade, because at Starrcade, all of a sudden it's for something, and they act like they've been talking about this for weeks. They have, in fact, not been talking about it. And this is another segment that proves that. Anyways, gets an F, didn't like.
Nitro Girls! I just hit my hand on my headphones. That was painful. Anyways, Scott Hall versus Chris Jericho for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Tell me about it.
Hall takes a survey, and Charlotte natives do not appreciate it. They boo the hell out of him, but he still says, survey says, one more for the good guys, because it's a
good.
perfect bit. It doesn't matter what the crowd does. It will always work. It is fantastic because Scott Hall is a fucking genius. Anyways, Jericho hits a lion salt in like the first 10 seconds, which was awesome. Jericho does, however, lose this match to the Outsider's Edge. And this one's a pretty clean one. Like Scott Hall just kind of wins. Like there's no crazy shenanigans, doesn't end up with spray paint or anything like that. Just a straightforward match. I like it. I'm giving it a C+. It's nothing to write home about. It's not a lot of time. at all. But it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's clear that Scott Hall respects Chris Jericho, and we saw this. This is a rematch of a couple of weeks ago where Jericho gets a ton of offense on Scott Hall because Scott Hall was like, "Hey, I think you're really good. I want to make you look good. I don't care what they say in the back. Just say it was me, right?" And he lets Chris Jericho get a ton of offense. What was supposed to be a squash match. I feel like this was maybe them going, "No, that's what we wanted. So you're going to do it again, and you're going to squash it." Because that's I feel like it was just kind of a no, you don't get to do that. This is you're still getting squashed. You're still getting squashed. But we like Jericho. We like Scott Hall. It's very clear Scott Hall really respects Chris Jericho and sees him as a good up and coming talent. Who isn't a good up and coming talent though? Steve Monko McMichael,
True.
and he is in a match. Again, we like Steve and we appreciate Steve. Steve is trying.
Yes.
And I respect that.
Yes.
But he ain't got it. And they were wrong to just thrust him into main event contention. But we got a match. It's Steve versus Meng.
Mhm.
Tell me about Steve versus Meng.
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't actually hate this segment. So there you go.
Okay.
Mongo's music hits, but he never arrives. Turns out that Goldberg attacked him like Mongo did to him at whatever pay-per-view it was, might have been World War III, I can't remember. Dylan says if Mongo can't wrestle, then Goldberg must. So Goldberg says, look, you want another victim? You got it. And the crowd loves this because Goldberg is over.
Mm-hmm.
Goldberg is on his way down, but Mongo attacks him from behind. The two men fight, and security ends up pulling them apart. So we don't actually get a match. I like this. These guys are brawlers. This is what's expected. I don't expect any sort of technical showcase from them. And when it comes to Starrcade, we're not going to get one. And I'm okay with that. Gets a B for me.
And I didn't spoil it because you were talking about how I spoil it. But I remembered this time. I remembered ahead this time because I actually put in my notes that like, don't spoil it. I think my exact notes say that bitch ass always whines when I spoil it. Don't spoil it. That's my notes say. That's weird. That's weird they say that.
Do you know how much we use like bitch ass it just regularly now? So I was watching Demon Slayer with my brother and my sister-in-law, and we only had like a few episodes left before we were done with the main series, and then could hopefully go on to the movie when that comes out to streaming. Anyways, so there's only like 3 episodes left, and Jillian was just like really tired, and it wasn't very late. It was like 10. It wasn't very late at all. And she was just really tired, and she just goes, sorry, I'm a bitch ass. I need to go to bed. I was like, oh my God, like we got her saying it now.
Well, bro, I started saying it because you say it. It's your catchphrase. And so I'm just going along with it, like, because you were calling me a bitch ass and things. I'm like, no, I'm not a bitch ass. You're a bitch ass.
Yeah, it's great.
And so, you don't get it.
And in case you want to use it at home, the whole purpose of the term bitch ass is it's ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah. So we call each other bitch ass over the stupidest things.
We say it in jest.
Yes.
Like how he's gonna be a big crybaby bitch ass tonight when John Cena retires.
You don't know me. You don't know shit.
I know you exactly, bro. I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna be following it. Like I might even watch it just to text you like, oh, you crying right now.
You're gonna be a bitch ass crying when Phillip Rivers miraculously wins a Super Bowl.
Bro. Yeah, probably. I'm not gonna lie about that one. I love Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was my quarterback. I grew up watching Phillip Rivers with the Chargers. I wouldn't say I grew up watching him. I was an adult. I had a house, but I moved to San Diego. I moved to San Diego for college. My wife and I met in college. We stayed in San Diego, and I didn't have a football team growing up because Los Angeles did not have a football team while we were kids, right? The Raiders were there for a little bit, but they left when I was pretty young. You might not even been born yet when they left.
They left. I think I was born, but yes, they had left. Like they were. Yeah.
I mean, how much of a football desert LA was. We had a neighbor that flew a Rams flag for 30 years while they weren't there.
Yeah.
It's just like, he hadn't forgotten the Rams and he flew a Rams flag. But like, so when I moved to San Diego, it was the only sport that I didn't have a team spoken for, right? I had the Dodgers, I had the Lakers, I had the Kings. I I didn't have a football team because I never really I had friends who really liked the Niners. I had friends who really liked the Raiders, and those never felt right to me. Those were Northern California teams, and Southern Californians are not allowed to like
No,
Northern California teams. It is
not
against
at
the
all.
law.
Yes, 100%.
And so I was like, Chargers, boom, that's
Yeah.
it. And I got my Phillip Rivers jersey, and I watched, and if I like football, it's because of Phillip Rivers. If there's any part of me that likes football, it's because Phillip Rivers is fun to watch because he's old school.
Yeah.
Like his whole interview where they talked about, um, you're fat now, and he's like, so I play in the pocket. Like, I'm not going anywhere. They know where I'm going to be. It's the same place I've been for 16 years. I'm like, I like that guy. That's fun. Anyways, we should probably get back to wrestling and the Nitro Girls.
I actually have something on this one, which is hilarious to me because it starts off with Kimberly dancing solo, and even solo, she can't do it. It fucking killed me. I was crying. She kept trying to do this thing at the ring post where she was trying to like flip upside down, and it took her
I remember
3
that. Yeah.
tries to get it.
Yes.
And I was just like, bro, this whole thing was centered around you. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and
so
she's very
good.
athletic. She just couldn't pull it off. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I remember that now. I do remember that, and I was like, "Oh my goodness." After that, though, we got the World Tag Team Champions, Rick and Scott Steiner, putting up the titles versus Conan and Scott Norton. What?
Yeah.
That's none of their tag teams.
Yeah.
Tell me about this 4-minute match.
Vincent eventually runs in and a DQ happens. However, even though it's 3-on-2, Ray Traylor runs in and helps him. So he's no longer solo. Interesting development. It's good to see for me. It's fine. It is what it is.
Is Ray Traylor the NWO hunter? Are we getting is it happening? Is it happening? No, it's not, but I wish it was.
Yeah.
After that, we get the Macho Man Randy Savage versus Booker T for like 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And this is I feel like this is kind of a dream match because both these guys are great.
I
To
agree.
see Mach and Book go at it is great. Tell me about it, Joseph.
Yeah, it's a very fun match, and it's a showcase for Booker T. Mach is starting to kind of just be there at this point. Like, he doesn't really have an angle. There's nothing really going on with him, which again is why he never really belonged in the NWO. You could have made him heel. I have no problem with Mach being heel. He's an excellent heel. There was really no purpose for him to be in the NWO, and you could have done all the things you need to do with him to put him up, put over like DDP and stuff with him as just being a heel. Anyways, during this, a fan rushes the ring and Mach kicks him away before security takes him. Elizabeth interferes and Mach knocks Booker off the top rope. Mach hits Booker a number of times with a plastic chair. Finally, he hits the elbow for the 1, 2, 3. It's a fun match, despite the fan distraction, and it gets a B from me.
Why does that happen so much at WCW but not at WWF?
I think it happens again tonight.
It happens a lot. Yeah, and I think it might happen a couple times tonight, but it just happens. I don't recall if it's happened on WWF. I don't even remember it. It probably has, but I remember this being part of WCW, and it's like, is their security just bad? Is it the Southern fans versus the Northern fans? I don't know, but it happens a lot. And then, Joseph, you'll be happy to know that we go into hour number 3 because this is a 3-hour version of Nitro. And we started off again, as we always do, with the Nitro Girls. And then we get Chris Benoit and Scotty Riggs for 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah. Biggest thing of note here is that Riggs has a contact in his quote unquote dead eye. Benoit wins with the crossface, then grabs a mic and says, "Quoth the crippler nevermore." He calls the flock fake nonconformist and himself a true one. Then he attacks them, but they have the numbers and Saturn locks in the rings. Whatever. Gets to see.
I know you hate the flock, but I feel like there could be something interesting with the flock if they went up against like the NWO or something, right? Like the NWO is old school wrestling. They're the old guys, or the Four Horsemen, like actually the Four Horsemen. But just this beef with Benoit, like why? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I think in the terms of like wrestling and as a televised product, like I don't think, and so if anyone can think of one, shoot it to me. I would love to know and be corrected on this, but I don't think there's a single faction that works when it's made up of a bunch of who? And I mean, I guess maybe the Wyatts because they actually got time to develop in NXT.
Mhm.
There's kind of, I guess you could give it that. Oh, actually, I'm an idiot. No, the Wyatts are an example, and obviously the Shield are two great modern examples. So never mind, that's a mistake. But to me, a standard faction kind of needs like your main guy, which in this case is Raven, right? Which is fine. But I wouldn't have made like if you were to redo this idea, I don't think Raven is a leader. Like he's really notable to ECW fans, and that's it. You need like a main guy, you need the person who's the up and comer right behind him, and you need like a tag team. That's kind of how I feel like a faction kind of
Mhm.
has to work. And if you can kind of have that, where you can kind of go like, oh, like I kind of wish that someone would make a faction with like DIY, which is Johnny Gargano. I don't think you know this because you don't really watch modern wrestling, but Johnny
Love
Gargano,
DIY with Johnny Gargano. Yeah,
yeah, and
love him.
Tommaso Ciampa, yeah, you love them.
Tomasa Champa, yeah, love them. They're so good.
But like they could be a really fun faction because you could put them in as the tag team role and then make a leader and then whomever, right? It's honestly one of the things that really frustrated me in AEW about MJF's faction. I don't remember what it was called, the Pinnacle or something like that, because it made a lot
I
of
think so, yeah.
sense. It really did make a lot of old school sense, and then they just never really did anything with it. Um, but like I think that the structure of Raven's flock is so obscure, it already doesn't work. Like there's no real reason to get behind any of these guys. Billy Kidman will come out of this pretty strong. Perry Saturn will come out of it pretty strong too. But I feel like a lot of their work really is kind of post flock. And like there is a number of people on this stable that are just basically dead weight. They're just there. So it's a really tall task when you don't have anybody that you can kind of go, okay, that's the guy, and then here's how we're going to build up the rest of them. I think the structure of the flock just doesn't work. The idea is fine, but the structure I just don't think works.
Dead weight, you're telling me that that one guy's dead weight? And the other guy, and I can't remember their names.
Yeah,
You're calling them dead weight?
yeah,
My god, there's too many of them. There's like 40 of them. It's crazy. After that, we got Mean Gene, and he's out at ringside again with JJ Dillon because apparently, again, Eric Bischoff is throwing another tantrum about the match, and JJ Dillon doesn't understand why Eric Bischoff is throwing a tantrum since JJ Dillon has agreed to every demand that Bischoff has made. And JJ, right.
yeah.
Why? Why is this Joseph?
So Dylan says that Bischoff keeps trying to weasel out of this match. Again, Bischoff comes out and wants to know who the ref will be. So Dylan says, well, Randy Anderson, he's a good ref. And Bischoff says, no, he wants Kevin Nash as the ref. And Dylan's like, no, we're not doing that. How about Scott Dickinson? And Bischoff says, no, I want Six, who has a bad neck, as ref. So he can't even get physical. He's got a bad neck. He can't do it. And Dylan says, look, I will agree to pick one of your guys to be ref, but I get to pick which one. And Bischoff's like, hell yeah, let's do it. So Dylan says, let's meet him. And then out walks to the worst theme music ever,
Yes.
Bret the Hitman Hart. It may not be the worst theme music ever, but it's because his iconic theme music is so
Yes.
good. This one is so trash. Bret Hart walks out and the crowd goes wild. Bischoff believes that Bret is Team NWO, so he's completely fine with this. He agrees to this. And Bret says he would be honored to be the ref. Bret says Don't look to me for any help because no one knows better than he does what it's like to be screwed by a referee. Did you get it? Did you get it? Like in Montreal at the screw job? Did you get it? And then Bischoff, though, he's confused by this whole thing, why Brett would say anything like that, because he thinks you're Team NWO, though. And then we head out. I gave this a D. It's not great.
Yeah, it's like, no, I want you to screw Zbyszko over. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I think this again with WCW, like I feel like the pieces are there and they're just handled poorly. Again, this feels like this would be fun if Eric sold it better, because they're saying, oh, Eric doesn't actually want to have the match, and he's just throwing all these stipulations in to not have the match. And it's like, but he doesn't act like that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right. Like it should have been at, I want this and I want this and I want this. And JJ Dillon kind of stands aside and goes, sure. And then Eric goes, what?
Yeah.
I want this now too. And JJ, sure. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. Instead, he doesn't sell it. He goes, oh, okay. And then he leaves. And then all of a sudden he goes, oh, wait.
Yeah.
And then another thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because Eric Bischoff's the cool guy, right? He's like, oh, that doesn't faze me. I'm a big tough guy. Well, then that's not the gimmick. That's not the storyline.
It's a big problem with the NWO is that no matter what happens negatively to them, they are unfazed by it. And that doesn't work. You have to sell. If you want to build, you have to sell. Every single time that Sting has done anything, NWO has to sell. They can't look cool doing it. And to be fair, they've done a pretty good job of that. But like when other people have stood up to them, like they need to sell for those people in order to make it work. And they really don't. Sting's kind of the only one they do for. And it's just like, no, if you don't sell, like you should be talking all that shit until they confront you, right? That's a great heel work, is like when they're not in the arena, when they're not around, you can say everything you want to say. It's the keyboard warrior, right? Well, there's no ramifications because no one can actually touch me because I'm doing this on my keyboard. So I can say whatever I want to say. But then if you said that to a person in real life, they can punch you in the face. Now all of a sudden I didn't really mean any of that. You know what I mean? That's what makes a good heel. And NWO is so not that. They are so, at all times, whatever you say doesn't matter. And it's just like, God, it's so aggravating to watch.
And and I understand that the Montreal Screwjob is like the biggest thing in wrestling right now, right? I'm sure everyone's still talking about it. I get if you want to make that part of the angle where Brett is kind of in this weird place where he's joined the NWO, but he has to screw over Zbyszko and he just can't square that with what just happened to him. And you've got this kind of story where he's like, they're not sure where he's going to be on this, because he's like having second thoughts. Like, I don't know if I want to do that and all that. Like you could do that angle, but they don't really do the angle. They're just like, he's just like, I know what it's like. Okay. What?
But don't worry, right, Scott, they'll do an even better referee angle at Starrcade.
Absolutely. It's a whole night of great refereeing. After that, we go to a break and we come back and Mean Gene out again. And this time he's with Lex. Or is he, Joseph?
Interesting. Yeah. I think Lex's music hits, right? But Buff comes out instead. And Buff says he is the total package, not Lex Luger. And Gene calls it controversial. Buff calls Luger a coward and says he won't beat him. And then Luger runs out. Buff berates him. But I think this is a mistake because like we just said, Buff should have been talking that shit until Lex is there. Instead, he's still talking that shit. And it's like, no, you have to have some cowardice in your heel work. Unless you were clearly depicted as a badass, right? A great, current example is Gunther. Gunther doesn't cower for anybody because of the way they have depicted him. Fine. I understand that. But Buff Bagwell? No.
Yeah.
He's smarmy. That's the point of him. So anyways, Lex questions how Buff has won this far. He calls Buff pathetic. Lex says he talked to production and asked for time for a match, so why not? Buff says, well, we need a ref, so we don't actually have one, so we can't really have this match. Lex says, I already thought of that. And Nick Patrick arrives. And Buff says, well, look, I have to warm up. You can't, you have to warm up a Ferrari. You can't just, start it and go.
Which is a good line. Yeah.
Yes, it's a great line. Yeah, this is the good Buff work,
Yes.
right?
This is what you're supposed to do.
I want to have this match with you. Oh wait, no, I can't because my shoulder's hurting or whatever. Those things are great.
Yes.
So Buff has turned around. I'm enjoying this segment now because what Buff's doing. And Lex says, I thought that too. So he slaps Buff across the face and is like, are you warmed up now? And then we get the match. And Buff Bagwell again wins this match when Lex accidentally throws Buff over the top rope, which again isn't a rule until it is. And so Lex is disqualified.
Yep.
I enjoyed this segment until that. I'm going to give this one a B. Buff's doing some good stuff.
I would have been okay with it if the whole match, because Luger gets a lot of offense on this, right? He's kind of wiping the floor with Buff. I would have liked it if Buff was just like, oh crap, I'm getting my ass beat. And then trying to invent ways to win. Like he throws himself over the rope, right? Like he, or something like, like if he found a way to
it would have been fine if honestly he got thrown over the rope, but if the entire time he was getting his ass beat. So when that happened, it was like, oh shit, I won. And then he's just like, yeah, I did win. And then he starts talking shit again.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if he just got if Lex just done an Irish whip on him or something, and Beth was just like, oh, you know what? And just kind of went over.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good.
That would be fine. Just the DQ and Nick Patrick didn't see the whole thing or something. It's fine. I think there's a way. There was a way to do that would make it fun. Of Buff just trying to. Well, it's kind of like what the New Age Outlaws are doing right now, right? They're winning in stupid ways, and it's enjoyable, right? Yeah. They're manufacturing ways to win, and they should have just done that. But that brings us to our main event. And it is for the WCW US Heavyweight Championship. For the millions watching at home and the thousands in attendance, I give you Kurt Hennig versus Ric Flair. We had to have Ric Flair in the main event. It's Charlotte. I'm okay with that. But also, am I, Joseph?
Yeah. Good question, Scott. Hennig tells everyone that he's too good to be true. He is what he is, and what he is the best. He insults Flair and accepts his challenge, calling himself bigger, better, and a whole lot cooler. We head to commercial and come back, and Ric Flair arrives. Immediately, the NWO attack him. Flair low blows as many of them as he can until Hennig hits Flair with the U.S. title, which I actually laughed at because it's just like dick punch, dick punch, dick punch.
Yes.
DDP comes out to save him, as well as the Steiners. Flair seems to have injured himself, apparently, during this. He's got an injured leg, and DDP steals the U.S. title. DDP grabs a mic and says he is feeling pretty good, so he challenges Hennig. Another two fans rush the ring, and security tackles them. Yep. Bischoff comes out with the NWO. DDP leaves to the crowd as the NWO butcher. Another one bites the dust. Then Hogan asks why Sting didn't save everyone and calls him a coward. The lights go out and Sting is in the rafters. Lights come back on and Hogan's like, I saw you. And the lights go out again. And now Sting is on top of the entrance stage over WCW Monday Nitro sign. And the show awkwardly closes as Sting drops from the sign and makes his way to the ring. And that's kind of it.
That's it.
I'm giving it a C, I guess. There's some good, there's some bad. And okay, the show's over, guys.
Bye. No, I'm just kidding. We got to move on. But before we move on, I'll just say, what the hell was that? It was just chaos. And then it ended I timed it. The whole thing was 40 minutes from the start to the end of all of that. And it was just chaos the entire time. Yeah. I don't know. But what I do know is that Raw is at the Whitmore Center Arena in Durham, New Hampshire, not North Carolina. That's one of those ones where it's it's Durham, New Hampshire. I always make that joke, but this time it's real because we're in Durham, New Hampshire, December 15th, 1997. And let's get raw. Someone's going to take a shot of that. If I ever run for office, someone's going to take a shot of that and put it everywhere.
There you go.
That was a mistake.
You can never run for office because they're going to be like, "Is this your friend?" And it's just going to be me being like, "Black Lives Matter."
Oh God. No, how dare you?
Yeah.
It's just anyways, on the announce table, let's get back to business here. We got Jim Ross, Michael Cole, and Kevin Kelly. Where's Jerry? We love Jerry. I don't understand. Oh, he's coming up.
Yeah.
Anyways, just Michael Cole's out to interview The Undertaker to start the show. Because apparently,
Mhm.
Undertaker and Shawn are going to face off in a casket match at the Royal Rumble. And this is where Shawn is going to break his back.
Yes.
So tune in, $2 a month, and we can talk about how Shawn breaks his back on the casket at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But before that, we've got an interview, Joseph. Tell me.
Yeah, Taker says, look, he has his issues that have never been settled with HBK, but he can beat him at will. He tells Shawn that he knows he can't win. He says his history in casket matches is legendary, and he only ever lost one match, and that took 10 guys to beat him. He says Shawn
Mhm.
doesn't even have 10 friends to help, which is a great line. And also probably true at the time. You better give your soul to the Lord because the rest of your scrawny, and then he looks at the camera, but it implies ass, belongs to me. Kane comes out with Paul Bearer saying, well, well,
Mhm.
well. That's Paul Bearer, not Kane.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Because Kane hasn't started using the voice box thing yet. Well, well, well. That'd be hilarious. What a beautiful family portrait this is. The only thing that is missing is your parents you murdered. I laughed so freaking hard at that. He tells him that the list of Kane's victims, which are Taker's fault, is growing day by day. And then Kane slaps Taker, but Taker will still not face him as he walks away. Gave it a B. I really enjoyed this segment as we kind of go to commercial and we come back. It's fun. It's a
Yes.
slow burn until Kane versus Taker. And I like that. We don't need it immediately. There's a lot of things we can still do. Keep doing those things and we'll get it eventually.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to this. Like, I like the slow burn with the Kane Taker. Like, I haven't gotten tired of it. I haven't gotten bored. I like what's happening. I I think I think Undertaker rightfully deserves a shot at the title, so that
Mhm.
makes sense to me. Like, this is all working. This is all working. But what isn't gonna work for me is our next match if we do not get a
Oh.
Michinoku driver, because we got Taka Michinoku versus Jerry Lawler, and this is the first time I'm a little worried we may not get a Michinoku driver. Tell me about this, Joseph. I think they timed this one over on the pro wrestling thing. They did 5:45. So we've got the official time here, 5:45.
Yeah, this is a fun match, and it continues a storyline that we have had between Taka Michinoku and the Lawlers. King eventually hits
Mhm.
his pile driver. Oh no, he's gonna lose. But then he toys with Taka, so
Ah!
Taka responds and hits the Michinoku driver.
Yay!
Brian Christopher runs in. He breaks up the pin for the DQ, and both men attack him. But Taka gains the upper hand real quick and escapes. I
Mhm.
couldn't believe I'm saying this. I enjoyed the hell out of this. I'm really liking what Taka's doing with the Lawlers. I gave it a B.
Yeah. Jerry's a good wrestler.
I like
You may not
Jerry,
like him
yeah.
on the mic, but
But
yeah,
Bri
but
but
Jerry knows how to
Brian
wrestle.
very recently earned his stripes with me. You remember
Mhm.
that at
He's
the
growing on
pay-per-view.
us.
Yeah.
Yep. He's growing on us. Yeah, he bled for this. Brian
Yes.
bled for this rivalry quite a bit.
Yes.
So good for him. We like it. We get an announcement that LOD and DX
Mhm.
are tonight's main event. And that brings us to wow, we get something from Hawk,
Oh.
right?
Oh, you stole it from me, you bastard.
You can do it.
I
You
know.
can do it. You do
I'm
it
still
better.
gonna
Do it.
do it. I'm still gonna do it. Animal says this isn't gonna be pretty. Tell him, Hawk. And Hawk says, well, this is gonna be different. We've never had the opportunity to wrestle the likes of DX, Michael Bolton before the haircut, Fabio, and RuPaul. I laughed so hard at the Michael Bolton before the haircut. And then he
Mhm.
says, oh, what a rush. My God. Hawk is the only one who could do the stuff he does. I gave it a B. I really enjoyed it.
Hawk's nuts.
Yes.
And we love it. Because that's their gimmick. They're nuts.
Yes.
Right?
And it's not much of a gimmick.
Then No, he's nuts. He's nuts. Then we get the Nation of Domination out to the ring. And they've got a bone to pick with this Stone Cold Steve Austin, don't they, Joseph?
They sure do. They sure do. The Rock introduces the new undisputed Intercontinental Champion, the People's Champion, and the best Intercontinental Champion there ever was. He's, of course, talking about himself. Farouk starts up and The Rock says, with all due respect, the champ is talking. And Farouk is stunned. Cannot believe The Rock just shut him up.
Ooh.
The Rock says that he is unhappy that gutless thief in the night, Steve Austin, stole The Rock's Intercontinental title. He calls out Austin and says he orders Austin to give him back his belt. So Austin's music hits. He says, if I heard you right, you're calling Stone Cold Steve Austin out. You're ordering me out to the ring. If you ain't been watching, son, you don't order Steve Austin to do a damn thing. I do what I want when I want. The same with your little buddies right there. Hell, I ran my little truck all over their asses. Rocky, I whipped your ass.
You did.
You stole the belt from me because that's exactly what you are, a piece of trash. I forfeited that belt to you because once in my life, I was in a good mood and I had some mercy on your junkie ass. I don't know why he calls him a junkie, but it made me laugh. He tells The Rock that he will see what he did with the belt. He just needs to stick around and find out. He tells The Rock that like he's over his damn head and he leaves. The Rock starts bad-mouthing Austin and tells Austin he has 1 hour to return The Rock's property. If not, the Nation will beat him. This is not the first of. We've already seen this kind of happen, but this is kind of the very first feud between these two, and we're enjoying the heck out of it. Austin is very soon on to bigger and better things, and The Rock will still be kind of the upper mid-card. But he's going to have a lot of fun stuff too coming up. It just hasn't quite happened yet, but I think they realize like this is the rivalry that we need to build to eventually. This gets an A for me. It's a lot of fun. And we're going to have another segment at the end of the night. That's also a lot of fun.
They clearly know they've got something here and we love to see it. And what I also love is Dude Love. Because he's got a match versus the Road Dogg Jesse James. Because if you recall, last week, Dude Love pinned Billy Gunn and then they beat his ass. So,
Yes.
so now Road Dogg's going to get a taste of some sweet shin music. Joseph, tell me about this 4-minute, 38-second match.
Billy Gunn tries the Road Dogg's gimmick of talking through their entrance. It isn't as good. It isn't, but he does join commentary. JR calls them the New Age Outlaws for the very first time, and Billy Gunn says he likes the name, claiming he is the one who came up with it. So they are officially now the New Age Outlaws. Next week, they will be back, and we will hear them called the New Age Outlaws. This is officially their name finally. Dude Love starts flashing back to Mankind, including a mandible claw. Then he goes nuts on Billy Gunn and Road Dogg. Dude Love starts rocking like Mankind before dancing like Dude Love. So we're seeing the personalities bleed in and out of the same match. He hits sweet shin music and the underhook DDT and picks up the win. Billy slides in with a chair, but Dude blocks it. He fights Billy up the ramp, and both men double team him and suplex him on the stage. They try to throw Dude over the edge, but he fights them off until Billy hits a DDT. They throw a ref into Dude, who flies off the stage into a table that does not break. They continue the beatdown, and it's pretty brutal, but it's a lot of fun. They end up getting pulled away by security and officials. It gets a B for me. It's a lot of fun. This is a fun rivalry that we've created out of nowhere.
Do you think Mick Foley's family watches? Because I wouldn't watch if I was his family.
Well, Scott, there is an historic segment where they are in the front row watching. So yes, they do.
Oh, I know. Minus that one time, though. Do you think they watch?
I think that his wife for sure did. But yeah, they're
yeah. Because I remember the historic moment. That's what I'm talking about. Because it's like those kids, when that happens, it's sad. I mean, because they're seeing their dad get destroyed and they're really, 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 really upset. And so I'm just like, but he's always doing this. It's like they're clearly not watching because they know that's Monday night. That's Monday night for dads.
Yeah.
He's going through something. Anyways, Anyways, we've got the triumphant return of Mark Henry versus the Brooklyn Brawler for 2 minutes and 1 second.
Yeah, Mark Henry wins this easily by locking in the bear hug. It's fun. It is what it is. Mark Henry will soon become a player for a faction, and I bet you can't guess which one. If only we had a faction of exclusively African Americans.
Oh, yeah.
It gets a C from me. We do love him in that faction, to be clear, and it starts the career of Mark Henry, so it'll all be good.
It's kind of like all things in wrestling. Like, I like Nation, but I also know that they did it purely because put all the black
Convenience?
ones together.
Yeah.
It's like, it's good. They made it great, but it's also like, why are you doing this? Like the criminal element.
Yeah.
Why are you saying that?
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
I'm half Mexican. I love the Mexicools, but I know why the Mexicools became a thing.
what?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Anyways, we get a video package highlighting Shawn Michaels and Owen Hart because Owen has made it his mission to go after DX for what they've done to Brett, and we love it, and they're gonna do nothing with it. But you want to talk about this?
Yeah,
and go
of
into the next
course.
segment, or do you want to talk about them together because they're kind of the same thing?
Well, yeah. So Vince calls out Owen Hart. Vince comes out and he calls out Owen Hart and he says, that he has been endangering the ringside fans with his antics lately. Fans begin to boo Vince. He is figuring this out. He's starting to figure out, like, oh, I could be a really good character. Owen comes out and Van Man asks, what is this all about? And who do you think you are? And Owen says, who do I think I am? Who the hell do you think you are? I don't owe you a goddamn apology. And the bullshit stops right here. It's actually what Owen's saying. It's fantastic. He says that his brother and the Anvil and Bulldog did what they had to do, meaning they all quit. And now it's time for me to do what I have to do, and that is remain right here in the WWF. He says he broke his back for 9 years to earn a reputation, and nobody is going to run him out of this company. And you know, Vince, who I'm talking about. Vince is mad and says he has a real good idea who he's talking about and names HBK, saying it's really about the WWF title, right? And Owen says, how stupid are you? Is that what you think this is about? You think I give a damn about an old leather with a piece of tin on it? This is real life, Vince. I'm telling you exactly what I'm going to do. That is make Shawn Michaels' life a living hell. You listen to me. You can call me the sole survivor or the black sheep. I really don't give a shit. Shawn Michaels, this is not a game. You started it, and it's time for this little nugget to end it. Vince tells Owen that security will come to the ring and make sure we do not endanger the safety of ringside fans. Next week, you will come down the ramp just like every other ringside superstar. Owen debates punching Vince for a second, but grabs him by the collar, says something that we don't hear, and then leaves. This is the best Owen moment we have seen on this podcast. I'm not saying it's best all time, just as far as the run of this podcast has gone. It is an A+ for me. It is the DX Hunter. It's what you want. And unfortunately, it's going to fall apart, but we love it right now. We love it right now. It is fantastic.
And I noticed that, Vince keeps telling Owen how dangerous he is. And I'm thinking, man, danger Owen Hart?
Yeah. That's not where I thought you were going with this.
No, you disgusting. Disgusting where you thought I was going. No, because he starts wearing the yellow danger outfit. I wonder if that's where this gets started. I should also mention that this is hour number 2 of the War Zone. So Jim Ross has been joined by Jim Cornette for this part. And Jim Cornette's got some good lines in here because I wrote one down where when Owen leaves, Cornette says, in my opinion, Owen's got some big nuggets. And I liked that. I was like, that's a good one, Jim. That's a good one. Then we go back to Raw last week where Sable took off her potato sack and
I drew it.
And Joseph drew it. It's the image that adorns that episode. So if you want to go back and see what we're talking about, look at last week's episode. And I think Cornette says something like, Mero flipped and Sable stripped. I'm like, this dude's firing all cylinders tonight. He was good.
Yeah.
But that brings us to our next match, and I don't know what the hell is going on. The Sultan,
Mhm.
he's back. He's still around. Versus Tom Brandy, who I think is the guy from the Lord of the Rings.
No, that's Tom Bombadil.
I know that was a joke, bro. Come on.
What
3 minutes, 51 seconds. Man, this guy takes Tom Bombadil seriously. All right.
that wasn't one of your finest.
It was, actually. Tell me about the Sultan versus Tom Bombadil for 3 minutes and 51 seconds.
So they are trying to do something here with Tom Brandy. They started that last week, right? Mark Marrow kind of dead named him. He used his real name. And so they're trying to be like, look, you're not a gimmick. This is actually important, even though Tom Brandy isn't. This is important because they are going away from the idea of pure gimmicks. Because he was Salvatore Sincere or Sinceri or whatever it was. And he was this Italian man, and that was the gimmick, right? No, he's Tom Brandy. This is actually really important. It's actually going to come up in 2 segments why it's really important. So they're trying to do something with him. They're trying to give him a chance to kind of shine on his own. He wins this with a roll up, and then after that, Mark Marrow low blows him, and the crowd chants Sable. Okay, you get to see from me.
And the crowd chants Sable. So there you have it. There you have it. What?
Yep.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. Anyways, after that, we get a video package highlighting Stone Cold and The Rock, because we know that that's hot. We love it. And we get some more Austin, bro. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Rocky tells Austin his time is up. He comes out, nation's out. He says, look, your time is up. I think he says, according to my Rolex or the Rock's Rolex, the time is up. But because he is now here delivering the belt, he is as gutless as can be. And then we see on the Titantron, Austin talking about what a beautiful night it is outside. And he's on a bridge with the IC title. He says, you didn't have to earn a damn thing, but you do tonight. You want to find out, you're going to need your little mask so you can see underwater. And he throws a mask into the water. You're going to need, or he goes, you're going to need your little snorkel. Hell, son, you might even need a regulator because you're going to have to go so deep. So I got your ass a little oxygen tank. I really doubt there's any oxygen in the damn thing, but nonetheless, there the damn thing is. And he keeps throwing each one of these items into the river. And I tell you what, Rock, take your little flippers because you probably can't swim worth a damn. Here's a cell phone. When you find the damn thing, dial my number. And here's your pager. When you dial me up, tell me you found your damn belt. I'll page you back with the 316 and give you a big thumbs up. Rock, you're the biggest piece of trash I ever saw. It really hurts me to do this, but I really don't give a damn about you or the WWF. So I'll see your little belt later. And he throws the Intercontinental Championship into the river with every single other item. This is phenomenal. It's iconic. It's Austin at his best. Gets an A+ for me. If you have seen any Austin documentary, any highlights of Austin, this segment has come up. It is a fantastic segment. And it is, I mean, really, like, this segment really launches the Austin Rock rivalry. It's so good.
History in the making. But speaking of history in the making, our next segment is kind of a big deal.
Yes, it is.
This is it. This is Vince McMahon in a video package promo. I don't even know what you'd call it.
It's a pre-recorded promo, yeah.
Yeah. Basically saying the Attitude Era is here. People call it the Cure for the Common Show promo. I saw that a bunch of places. That's the name for it. This is it, folks. The Attitude Era is here. Tell me, Joseph.
Yeah. So Vince is it's just him. And underneath him, it says, like Vince McMahon says, the Cure for the Common Show. Vince talks about how now more than ever, truer words have never been spoken than anything can happen in the WWF. This is a conscious effort to entertain in a more modern manner. He says, we think that you as an audience are tired of being insulted by simplistic theories of good guys versus bad guys. They have embarked on a contemporary campaign because it is live on Raw, they encourage parental discretion for younger audience. But he does say, when you're watching our Saturday shows, parental discretion is not needed, which I think is really good. Like, honestly, that's really good. Look, this show is going to be mature. The other stuff, if you want your little kids to watch, it's not going to be. So you can have them watch those things. He says, as the
Yeah,
times
this
have
is prime time. This is
Yeah.
prime time. That's Saturday. That's like Saturday
Yeah.
morning cartoons. This is prime time. Yeah.
And he's also right. They are about to be live permanently. Like, it's not exactly right around the corner, but it is coming soon. I think in the next year or so. So, like, it's going to matter. It is going to matter. He also says, as the times have changed, so have we. Raw and Warzone are the cure for the common show. This is an iconic moment where Vince basically admits that what they have done in 1995 and 1996, it's dead, it's buried, it didn't work, and they are changing. It is as close as you can get to him apologizing to the fans for how they've been. It's not an apology, though they will paint it as one as as the years go on, because it is an iconic moment. It's not an apology because Vince would never say I'm sorry, but
Yes.
it's as close as you can get to that. I mean, the dude didn't even hug his son until he was like 50. So he ain't saying he's sorry for shit. But it is an iconic moment. He is saying at this point, all that stuff you saw is no longer happening, which is kind of why the Tom Brandy thing is important, because literally a week ago, he was Salvatore Sinceri, and now he is Tom Brandy. The idea of gimmicks and good versus evil is out the window. Everyone is cheering Austin. Austin, in any other era, is a bad guy. He is 100% a bad guy. But now, in this new 90s era of, very grungy attitude, he's an anti-hero. He's the guy that you cheer for. And so this is a complete change. This
And-
is
And even
good.
and even Austin wanted to be a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
He didn't want to be a good guy. He wanted to be a bad guy, and it's not working. Like,
Yeah.
he's a good guy whether he likes it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got to roll with it.
So this is fantastic. It gets an A for me. Like you said, it is iconic. It's very important. And we have two huge Raw segments in the same night. Actually, three, because
God,
Owen, I think, is a third one, honestly.
I already know who you're gonna say wins this week. My God, you homer. Anyways, we have and the way we inaugurate the Attitude Era, we are officially, this is it. Put it on your calendar. This is the Attitude Era, and this is how we inaugurate it with Steve Blackman and Jose Estrada Jr. for a minute 39.
Yeah. I think this is Steve Blackman's solo wrestling debut. His first match was at Survivor Series in a Survivor Series tag team match. Blackman wins this quickly with a German suplex and a bridge pin. Hold on. He wins it with a bridge pin. I'm going to give this a B, but importantly, because this is his solo debut. Do the thing, Scott!
Yeah, it's a quick one. It's a quick one. But I like Steve Blackman, so it's fun. It's fun to watch. And honestly, although I was making fun of it, it is kind of Attitude Era, right? Steve Blackman represents a more grounded, kind of realistic style of wrestling, right? So it is. I'm joking because of Jose Estrada Jr. and Los Boricuas, which I think are kind of those need to go away.
Yeah.
But Steve Blackman is kind of part of
Yes.
is an Attitude Era talent for sure. Then we get DX responding to Owen and his comments from earlier.
Yeah.
What do you make of this?
Yeah, they're asked about their thoughts on it, and Sean says he isn't that hard to find. He's the guy who stole all the gold from around the waist of your family members. Triple H says you did rid WWF of Brett and Bulldog, and I did get rid of the Anvil. So technically, wouldn't this be Chyna's turn? And they agree, but HBK says, look, WWF is terrified that she will tear him apart. So it will have to be him or Triple H, which I love. Like, they are selling the hell out of Chyna. They're going to do it again next week, and it's really fun. They will settle this like they settle every major decision, and then they play rock, paper, scissors, which Triple H wins. It's stupid. It's great. I love it. It's fantastic. It gets an A for me.
And that brings us to our main event. Shawn Michaels and Hunter Hearst Helmsley of D-Generation X versus Hawk and Animal of the Legion of Doom for 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Tell me.
This is a fun match. I bet you can't believe it, given people in the ring. Hilariously, the New Age Outlaws attack Hawk and use chloroform on him. China low blows Animal for the DQ. Billy shaves Hawk's mohawk. DX loves it. Then they powerbomb Animal through the announcer's table and they cackle about this. They again beat up Hawk and laugh and dance as we fade to black. This is an interesting segment. So Triple H really wanted New Age Outlaws to join DX. Shawn was kind of against the idea. He really wanted it to be a much more tight-knit group. He's also much closer to the people that are in DX and really was kind of standoffish. So he wasn't really enthused by the idea. Over the next few months, they're going to do a lot of kind of work together, but they're never officially going to kind of become one unit. It's actually not until Shawn retires for a while that they do form into DX. So, but this is fun. Also, these two teams make a whole hell of a lot of sense. Like, we obviously know that in retrospect because they joined DX much later.
Yes.
But they are very similar in a lot of their actions. So it works, and their antics are stupid and they're great. So I like it. Gets an A for me.
Yeah, it's crazy that Shawn, I mean, I get it from a personal standpoint. After everything that's gone on, he wants to keep the group kind of tight because people don't like him.
Yes.
But it's crazy that he can't see how perfect Road Dogg and Billy Gunn are for DX.
Yeah.
It's obvious. It's just obvious. And it's obvious to Trips.
And it goes back to my thing, right? You need your main eventer, you need your guy who's waiting in the wings, and you need your tag team. If you have those four items, or those three items technically, it's perfect. And then on top of that, they have this, this phenomenon, which is China. Like, she is unlike anything else that is on our screens right now. So they have this other, like, just perfect thing going on. So yeah, it is kind of weird.
That brings us to the end. So I have to ask you the question I already know. I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question. Who won this week?
Clearly Nitro, right? They were so entertaining. They had
You can't remember anything, can you? Name one thing.
Yeah, so it's going to Raw.
Okay. All right. Again, I'm sad to admit that I agree, because we like stories and the better stories are happening over on WWF. It's fun. I want to tune in next week and see what happens. And that's the difference between Raw and Nitro. Nitro is a grind for me getting through these episodes for the show, where I'm just like, okay, like individual match, I'm like, that's a great individual match, but there's nothing that's keeping me coming back week after week like there is on Raw. Yeah. Well, that does it. You got any more?
Bye guys.
Bye.